And the title of 2024 Men's Physique Olympia Champion, to your winner. And
what's up, Men's Physique fans, and welcome back to another video. As you guys can see, I am still in my hotel room here in Las Vegas, and I had an opportunity to not only compete at the Olympia as an athlete, but I also had an opportunity to watch from the crowd for finals. And I wanted to give you guys a quick recap on the final results of the 2024 Mr. Olympia.
Grapevine, but I ain't hearing nothing great. No, they wanna take it all from me, so I give what it takes. Whole life been a miracle, seen everything but a cape. Why would I stop now? Found everything on a journey, but another way. Look, I'm not.
And coming in at 5th place, we have Edvon Palmeiro. After placing 5th place in just 2022, and then falling back to 11th place in 2023, after putting on an ungodly amount of mass in such a short amount of time, he then had to streamline, strip back a lot of the muscle that he had after the weight cap got implemented to then reinvent his entire physique to step back on stage here in 2024 and regain his top 5 placing. Edvon looked amazing. Edvon has one of those physiques that is going to be very hard to beat because his density is there, and not only that, his overall presentation, polish, and just overall hardness to his physique has gotten better and better with each show, while still keeping it more of a streamlined, polished look. Again, Edvon is going to be very hard to beat for years to come. And coming in at 4th place for the 2nd consecutive year, we have Emmanuel Hunter. Emmanuel has one of those physiques that has a very high ceiling and a very low floor. But when he maximizes that ceiling, he is very hard to stand next to. Why? Because he is so wide. Also, he is so dense. And he also has this hardness and 3D look to his physique that when you stand next to him, it exposes a lot of other people. Emmanuel has always been knocked previously for just the detail through his midsection, also through his back. But at this year's Olympia, and also last year's Olympia, it just seems like to be the bigger shows he tends to really show up for, he nailed it. And it just seems like when the pressure is on for these big shows, Emmanuel just shows up. And the best thing about Emmanuel is not only is he a good guy, but his physique has so much more room to improve. Like, a lot of people can sit here and point out he needs to do this, he needs to do that, he needs to do this, but he is still placing 4th. And if you think about it, if he's placing 4th with a lot of improvements still able to be made, think about how high his ceiling actually is. It's much higher than 4th place at the Olympia. But nonetheless, he looked absolutely amazing. He had one of the widest backs on stage. He had just an overall confidence as if he's been there before, and you can feel that aura. And I'm very proud and happy for my man Emmanuel finishing 4th in the world. And coming in at 3rd place again, we have Aaron Banks. And if you notice, it's been a little bit of a trend. Edvon placed 5th in the past, Emmanuel placed 4th in the past, and now Aaron Banks repeats his 3rd place finish. Now, a lot of people know that I have a relationship with Aaron, and a lot of times people think because of my relationship with Aaron that I'm always going to be hesitant to say something that he needs to improve or he needs to get better with, but the reality is Aaron wasn't the best version of himself on this day. Now, he was a much improved version from his last showing in Dubai, and not only that, he was a much improved version from the last time he stepped on the Olympia. But Aaron is one of these guys with the highest ceilings of anybody. And if he can continue to get better and fine tune and maximize, he is going to be a problem. Aaron weighed in at 222 pounds when he stepped on this stage. His weight cap is 232 pounds. So if you really just take a step back and realize this guy has so much more room to grow into his already massive structure, it's gonna be scary. Now, as a previous Olympia champion, your standards are set high. So there's no question that a 3rd place finish probably felt like a gut punch, but it also has to feel good knowing that he's still being able to place 3rd, just not at his best, and beating a lot of guys who are at their best. So the reality is Aaron does need to continue to fine tune, right? And he needs to continue to streamline his waistline just a little bit more like it was in 2022. If he can do that, I can't imagine some of these guys being able to beat him, let alone stand next to him and gain ground. I think a lot of people tend to forget, just because of how much of a dominant and mediocre rise that he had, Aaron has only been competing for like 5 years, and this is his 4th Olympia. And in that time, he's managed to win the Olympia, place runner-up, and now back-to-back 3rd places. And the best thing is, he is so young that his body has so much room to still grow into not only the weight cap, but just the lifestyle of bodybuilding. So if Aaron can continue to bring what seems to be his final package at every show, which is much more improved, much more detailed, just a little bit more hard and graininess, he's going to be hard to beat. His pre-judging packages are a little bit more streamlined compared to his final packages, and because of the way his structure is set up, his look is already streamlined. So if he can bring a little bit more of that freak factor like the first and second place brought, then I firmly believe he's going to be back into that conversation for the win. Now let's talk about first and second place. Now, I want to talk about these two together because I do feel like these two completely separated themselves from the pack. It was almost like a show within a show. Ryan Terry, Ali Bilal, there was a lot of hype going into this show. Would Ali Bilal actually deliver on a lot of the confidence that he seemingly was spewing online? And also coming off of a crazy year, winning the New York Pro and Pittsburgh Pro. And then Ryan Terry, is he going to be able to catch a genie in a bottle again? Is he going to be able to stand on stage and be a better version of himself and win the Olympia again? Now, with that being said, there's been a lot of talk about who they think should have actually won the show, and people are screaming robbery. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this show was truly up in the air. When it comes to 1 and 2, it could have went completely either way, and I wouldn't have had a argument with it at all. I mean, Ryan brought next level conditioning. It was the best conditioning that I think I've ever seen. The graininess was just, it looked like sandpaper in person. And the only thing is, I just don't think he maximized his fullness the way that he did in 2022. But Ali Bilal, my eyes were just drawn towards him. He looked, guys, insane. Like, it's hard to put into words. Like, if you were here in person witnessing this, then you would truly understand what I'm saying. He just looked detailed, conditioned, full, round. And even though he's a smaller guy on stage, his presence felt big. And when I look and compare these two visuals, my eyes were just leaning more towards Ali Bilal. Now, again, Ryan looked insane. The one thing I think Ryan didn't necessarily improve much from last year. I mean, he really couldn't because his weight cap was 202 and he was at his weight cap this practically the last 3-4 weeks of prep. But Ali Bilal seemingly improved dramatically. And maybe that's why a lot of people are thinking Ali should have won. And don't forget, Ali placed 16th, like literally last call outs last year at the Olympia, to now placing second. It's insane, and it's an amazing story. But I'm really curious to know what you guys think, because I still, sitting here right now, I don't know who I would have went with. You know, I was so impressed with Ryan, you know, his overall veteran presence, but Ali Bilal, man, it's just, his tan was on point. The look for Men's Physique was there. The next level of detail. It's just so much added up to me just feeling like he could have won the show. But I'm not screaming robbery. It was that close. And I'm so happy that Ryan is back on top, because he is not only an amazing men's physique athlete, but he's an amazing representative for the men's physique division. And I couldn't be prouder of him. So nonetheless, let me know what you guys think. Should Ali or Ryan have won the show? And who was the shock of the show to you? I want to give a quick shout out to Ben Quill for breaking into the top 10. And there was a lot of other new names and new faces who broke into that top 10 who looked absolutely amazing. So congratulations to all of you guys. This was one hell of a show. The Olympia put on a hell of a production. And this was probably the best Olympia of all time, not only in the men's physique division, but if you look at every other division. Now, I'm going to make another video about this, but I do want to take a quick second to thank each and every single one of you guys for supporting me in my competition season this year. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be in finals as an athlete, but I'm a fan of men's physique first. That's why I'm able to shoot these videos for you guys fresh off of the stage and just separate my emotion of an athlete and my excitement as a fan. And don't get me wrong, you know, there's nothing more that I want to do than even cover myself about being on that stage, but there's more work to be done. But nonetheless, I'm going to continue to bring you guys all of the news of the men's physique division to continue to enhance this division. So I ask you guys to keep everything positive in the comments. You guys can definitely share your opinions, but again, these guys work their asses off to walk across that stage, and I want to make sure that as they're watching these videos, reading these comments, it does nothing but bring them up and not tear them down. So as always, I love you guys, I appreciate you guys, and until the next video, peace.
Camera, action, I'm the main attraction.